Arriving at the rendezvous, we found the main body of the Salt Lake party already there with the whole of their effects. The general would open none of his goods except tobacco until all had arrived, as he wished to make an equal distribution, for goods were then very scarce in the mountains and hard to obtain. When all had come in, he opened his goods, and there was a general jubilee among all at the rendezvous. We constituted quite a little town, numbering at least 800 souls, of whom one half were women and children. There were some among us who had not seen any groceries, such as coffee, sugar, etc., for several months. The whiskey went off as freely as water, even at the exorbitant prices he sold it for. All kinds of sports were indulged in with a heartiness that would astonish more civilized societies. In a short time, a tent was rigged up into a kind of saloon, and such drinking, yelling, and shooting as went on, I, of course, had never heard before. Mr. Redman, among the rest, finally got so drunk that Mr. Fitzpatrick could do nothing with him, and there was no sober man to be found in camp but myself. So Mr. Fitzpatrick asked me if I would try my hand at clerking. I remarked that I was willing to do my best, and at it I went. For several days nothing but whiskey was sold, at $5 a pint. There were great quarrels and fights outside, but I must say the men were very civil to me. In the meantime, sprees abated, and the trappers commenced to buy their little outfits, consisting of blankets, scarlet shirts, tobacco, and some few trinkets to trade with the Snake Indians, during which transactions I officiated as clerk. The agents of the different trading companies and a quantity of trappers had found their way here, visiting this fair of the wilderness to buy and sell, to renew old contracts and to make new ones, to make arrangements for future meetings, to meet old friends, to tell of adventures they'd been through, and to spend for once a jolly day. In place of money, they use beaver skins, for which they can satisfy all their needs at the forts by way of trade. A pound of beaver skins is usually paid for with $4 worth of goods, but the goods themselves are sold at enormous prices, so-called mountain prices. A pint of meal, for instance, costs from half $1 to $1. A pint of coffee beans, cocoa beans, or sugar, $2 each. A pint of diluted alcohol, the only spirituous liquor to be had, $4. A piece of chewing tobacco of the commonmost sort, which is usually smoked Indian fashion, mixed with herbs, $1 to $2. Guns and ammunition, bear traps, blankets, kerchiefs, and gaudy finery for the squaws are also sold at enormous profit. At the yearly rendezvous, the trappers seek to indemnify themselves for the sufferings and privations of a year spent in the wilderness. With their hairy banknotes, the beaver skins, they can obtain all the luxuries of the mountains and live for a few days like lords. Coffee and chocolate is cooked. The pipe is kept aglow day and night. The spirits circulate, and whatever is not spent in such ways the squaws coax out of them, or else is squandered at cards. Formerly single trappers on such occasions have often wasted $1,000. A rendezvous usually lasts a week.